We wanted to start off by congratulating 3 people that have recently told us that they passed. And the first one is Theresa V. I'm just going to jump to the website. This is our discussion board, codingcertification.org/forum. It's free. We encourage everyone to come here. It's a great community is building there. And so here's Theresa telling us all about how she passed. And yes, we'll send you a little graphic congratulating you. And then we have Robin. And there's Robin. And we're going to be there. Those are the 2 that we're going to be interviewing in just a second. And then Michelle. So hopefully we'll hear from her in the future. So all 3 have just recently gotten their CPC credentials. So congratulations. And if anyone else out there has recently passed, put it in the Twitter chat or the webinar chat, and we'll shout that out too. All right, so let the interviews begin. So here I thought we had someone already set up for tonight, and last minute we realized that we didn't. So I sent an email out to our 3 ladies that we were congratulating them and asked if they'd be willing to be interviewed. So Robin and Theresa graciously agreed at the same exact time. I said, well, great, we'll do both. And then I asked them where they were from to put it on the slide. And I had to check it twice because I kept getting the same answer. And it turns out they're both from Huntsville, Alabama. So what are the chances that I would actually invite 2 people from the same exact city? So 2 beautiful ladies, Robin and Theresa. We'll start with Robin. And Robin, are we able to hear you?
Yes.
Okay, great. So if you could just let us know, what got you interested in coding and maybe how CCO, coding certification, helped you along the way.
Well, I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was doing life insurance for senior people, like Medicare supplements and that type of thing. And I thought about going back to school, so I went to a college and set up a interview with one of the ladies there, and I was interested in actually ultrasound, and she actually was looking at what I'm already doing because I've had banking experience and I've had life insurance and experience. So she said, well, why don't you try for medical coding and billing? And I'm like, and then it just kind of, the more I started thinking about it, the more I started liking it. But then in the meantime, we moved, so I had to put it on the back burner for a little bit. But I actually did an online school, allied business schools, and did my, past that. And I actually, I stumbled on the Blitz thing before I took my exam the first time, and I kind of like, no, I can probably do without it. Well, wrong, because I didn't fail by really miserably, but I did fail the first time, and I didn't even get done with like 30 or 40 questions I had left. I'm like, how am I going to get through this? So when I got the Blitz package, I was just really impressed with the bubbling and the highlighting. That just helped draw my eye to certain things I need to look for. And then, the time management helped so much. I was able to get done. I didn't get done super early or anything, but I got done on time. And I felt very confident about it, but you just never know because you come out of there you just don't know. So, but I'm very pleased. I was very excited to see, and actually the lady told me, actually the president from the chapter, the coders chapter, called to congratulate me, and she said there was over 40 people there, and she goes, I was one of the lucky few because not very many people passed.
Yay. So. I mean, not yay that they didn't pass, but yay that you did.
Yeah. So the Blitz is well worth it. Actually, I felt like I got re-educated because a lot of stuff, that they didn't go, over. I learned more just listening to the Blitz video. It's like I re-educated myself.
Sue had asked, I'm not sure about, I understand what congestive heart failure is. There are more than one code given for this, and I'm getting confused. So what I did was I took the CHF codes and kind of broke them down. What CPC-H is, or congestive heart failure, the pumping action of the heart fails, and so the heart isn't adequately functioning, which makes you have congestion and edema developing in the tissues. And they're not talking about just the tissues of the heart, they're talking your entire body. So think of it like a pump station pumping out a pond or something, and all of a sudden that pump station, that pump's not working very well, and then you get it's like a backlog of fluid. So there's two major types of CHF. You've got systolic and you've got diastolic. Now, if you're familiar with how you read blood pressures, you have the top number and the bottom number. So you have the systolic number and the diastolic number, and one number is the pumping action of the heart, and the other is the relaxation of the heart. So that's why it goes, lubbed up. So it pumps and it relaxes, pumps and relaxes. So like I said, you've got that pump station going, and if it's pumping and it's not working adequately, like I said, you get a backlog. So 428.0 is just plain CHF, where you have no other information. They just say, your patient has CHF, so you'd code 428.0. But if it states that there's a systolic dysfunction, it's 428.22, and dystolic function 428.32, and this is with heart failure. So ultimately is that's what CFH is. It's the heart is failing to work. Now you can have systolic and diastolic at the same time, which is 428.42. So while you're reading your reports, you want to pay close attention when you have a CHF patient. Do they have systolic or diastolic CHF, or do they have both? Because you want to code to the highest specificity. There are so many basic coding terms you need to know early on. Here are a few with simple explanations. I get questions on these when people start the first couple chapters of the coding. And the books tend to make them much harder than they have to be. It's actually very simple. When they say category, subcategory, subclassification, or truncated codes or main terms, what they're really meaning is for category codes, that's a 3-digit code. So like COPD is 496, and you don't need any other digits to explain COPD, it's 496. Okay, so that's a category code. Now, even if a code like hypertension, which is 401.9, that's just like essential hypertension, that has a subcategory, which is 9, but the category would be 401, the 3 digits, but it has an additional subcategory, which is 9, which explains the code a little bit more. And as a general rule, if something ends in 9, it's unspecified. That's the way it is in ICD 9 and ICD 10. It'll be different. But then you can extend that out. ICD 9 codes go up to 5 digits. The last digit is called a subclassification. So that's a 5th digit. Diabetes, 250.00. One of the most, and in fact, I think well-known subclassification code, because everybody knows, if you've been coding for very long, and you want to note this for your exams, because they'll tend to do this to make sure you're paying attention, I guess, that if a diabetic code does not have 5 digits, it's not a valid code. If you accidentally leave off that last 0 or the 1 or the 2 that what you would put there, then you're not going to get paid.
I like to kind of be my own consultant, and that's how we figure out the answers to these questions. We don't know everything off the top of our head. Actually, I probably only know 10% of your questions off the top of my head. And I always tell my students, you don't have to know everything. You just you need to know how to get the answer. That is truly what a good coder is. So, these are our go-to references that we use all the time. Google is my number one, AAPC forum, our own forums, going to the encoders like Find a Code, Supercoder, the CMS website, etc. So let me see what I worked up here. Hopefully maybe something, nothing. I thought I did. Okay, so let me just take you to Google instead. And a lot of people don't realize that besides just typing in this box, there are advanced search options that you can do. And I recommend that literally that you Google advanced Google search tips, and you will learn so much that will help you in just your day-to-day Google use, let alone for coding. You can just type in a code.
Get more CPC exam tips, coding certification training, and CEU credits. Go to www.codingcertification.org.